Is it Potica, Potica? It's hard to pronounce, but it's delicious.
Hi, Yia. Are you ready to make Potica?
I'm ready to roll.
Let's go.
So I will have to admit to you guys that when our producers came to me and said, hey, we're gonna do Potica, I thought she said pizza. And they're like, it's from the Iron Range. And I'm like, pizza from the Iron Range? I'm like, okay. So how do you guys pronounce it, or how have you heard it pronounced?
Yeah, you were saying it right, Potica.
Potica.
The other one that we've heard is Potica,
Potica.
which will silently judge.
We know what you mean, but that's not how you say it.
Tell me a little bit about Potica.
Oh my gosh, where do we start? Potica is a sweet bread. You roll it out tissue paper thin and then spread it with a walnut, sugar, cream, honey filling out on the whole thing. So we'll fill this whole countertop. And once it's baked, there's all the layers of dough and filling. Yeah, it's delicious.
Potica dates back hundreds of years. It's originally from Central and Eastern Europe. The word potica comes from a Slovenian word, povidi, which means to wrap in.
Take me through the process of making Potica.
So we'll start, you bloom the yeast in warm water, and then we'll scald the milk, which is basically, you want the milk to steam, and then it'll get little bubbles all around the edges. And then we'll melt butter, sugar, and salt. We'll let it cool down just a little bit before we add the eggs.
I want to know how you guys met.
Yeah, so we grew up in Eveleth on the Iron Range.
The Iron Range is an area of northeastern Minnesota where iron ore mining flourished from the late 1800s to the 1980s.
Okay, so this has cooled off a little bit. Ashley's gonna add 3 eggs.
We don't have scrambled eggs, so that's a good sign.
And then we'll put the yeast in there with it before we add it to the flour.
So how did Potica get into the Iron Range?
The Iron Range is quite the melting pot of immigrants, the main one for Potica being Eastern European. So Slovenian, which I am not. Ashley has
have
a bit,
some,
so she's our representative.
Yes. That's the cool thing about recipes from the Iron Range, that even if you aren't Slovenian, the melting pot of the Iron Range and everyone there makes those recipes and enjoys them and shares them with everyone else.
In the early 1900s, the influx of immigrants working in the mining industry made the Iron Range the most ethnically diverse area of Minnesota. By 1910, the majority of immigrants in the region hailed from Finland, Italy, Sweden, Croatia, and Slovenia, each of them bringing their own cultural traditions, and the Eastern Europeans bringing the Potica.
When is Potica traditionally eaten?
Christmas time and Easter time. So Creaster.
Yeah.
Creaster, yes.
Yep.
It freezes super well.
And they make really great gifts too.
We've made it before where we've cut them in mini loaves. You don't have to share
It's like,
so
we don't
much.
love you this much, we love you this much.
Right.
This is how much work I So we're just gonna flour the surface.
And you look at this dough, it's a little wetter.
It is pretty sticky, and by
Yeah.
the time we're done, it won't be. You just fold it, quarter turn, and press it.
And it's a very simple technique. Quarter
Yes.
turn, and then use your,
I
use
use
your
my
palm.
palms, yep. And I'll just continue to work in more flour.
How long is the kneading process?
This usually takes about 10-ish minutes. So we're looking for a nice, smooth, elastic finish.
That's why all like the moms in the Iron Range just like were jacked. You know?
Our hand muscles.
Yeah.
Right.
They're like 10 minutes. We call that our warm up. Do you guys have any like memories of it?
My grandma would make it, and then we had quite a few of her friends in town, the Potica ladies, who would make it throughout the year. So
Were they called the Potica lady?
kind of unofficially.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know it.
Yeah, and you had to be good at Potica if you were gonna be the Potica lady. You know, like if
They'll
you're gonna
cut you out if
Right.
you don't. It's like, oh, sorry, Evan,
Right.
you're not making it this year.
Right.
I think we're gonna call this good.
As we see the dough here, it's like smooth. It's not tearing
Doesn't
up.
break apart, yep. So the next step, we'll put this in a clean, greased bowl to rise. My husband's grandpa taught me if you put it in your oven just with the oven light on, is just enough warmth to rise for about an hour and a half.
Now we're getting to the fun stuff, right?
Yeah.
We're working on the filling.
There are countless Potica filling combinations ranging from savory to sweet. Back in the day, the fillings could even indicate one's social class, with wealthier families using walnuts and cream versus an herb filling. Today, walnut fillings are still super popular.
For the filling, we'll grind our walnuts. I have done this before where I didn't quite grind them up enough. It just is a little bit harder to spread.
But then
down
all the
road.
Potica women, they just judge you.
Yeah. I was gonna get kicked out of the group.
You would not be the Potica lady.
Yeah.
We'll move on to heating up the cream and then melting the butter and honey in there as well.
That's adorable. You measure.
We're baking. You have to measure when you're baking.
So the Iron Range is known for mining. Did any of your family, were they into mining or how
Yeah,
did they?
my dad actually, right out of high school, started working at the mine right in Eveleth, and he worked there almost 40 years, all the way up through retirement. So it was a huge part of the livelihood of our family and a huge part of our culture.
My dad and my grandpa had a construction business, but in turn did a lot of work for the mines.
So it's that blue collar kind of
definitely.
mentality up there. That's why we need sticks and sticks of butters to get us through.
That's where this comes in.
Yes, and then you just mix it all in.
Yep, you just mix it all together. We'll add the vanilla too. This is one of my favorite smells. Even if it cools down a little bit, we'll even put it in the microwave for a second. It makes spreading a lot easier.
Oh, we're gonna roll it on that?
It's kind of our family Potica tablecloth. So it's, as you can see, it's not in perfect shape, but it has the memories that come along with years of making Potica with it. The best part about this tablecloth is when we stretch the dough out, the key indicator that it's gonna be thin enough is that you're gonna see these flowers through the dough. That's how thin the dough is gonna be.
So first we're gonna flour this
Oh.
to keep it from sticking. It's like the whole surface just
get in
gets
there.
lightly coated. So here's the dough after about an hour and a half. I like to start by just shaping it a little bit, and then it's basically, you just roll. Once it gets big enough, everyone can get in on the action.
There we go. So as you're going, I can't see any flowers yet, so
No, we're not.
We are
even
not even
close.
close
Okay.
to being thick
This is
enough.
what separates the Potica ladies. How thin can you get your dough?
They're just throwing shade on each other. It's like, oh,
Have you seen her dough?
yeah.
So we're to the point where we can tag team it.
I feel like I'm being judged right now.
No, don't worry about wrinkles, it's okay.
Wrinkles are okay.
Wrinkles
this is the
are
one
okay.
instance where wrinkles are okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, you know. Oh, I can start seeing. Guys, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
You are a Potica lady.
Awesome.
This looks
I
good.
think we're gonna call this good.
It seems like
Yes.
this is gonna be the fun spot.
So this is our giant bowl of filling that we're gonna scoop out and then just cover the entire thing to the edges with our walnut filling.
And we do want it to go pretty close to the edge too.
Oh, I've always been told to stay away from the edge.
Everything you think of with Potica is almost the opposite. You know,
of life.
wrinkles are fine. Close to the edge is fine.
Being away from home and having somebody connect with you on this, it's like that,
Yeah.
that piece of home came with you,
Yep.
you know?
When we no longer lived on the Iron Range, obviously, we're like, you wanna make it together? Since it's kind of labor intensive.
You know, kind of keep the tradition going because it's one of those things. If some of the younger generation doesn't keep it going, then it's gonna die off, and we're not gonna be able to pass it on to the next.
It's special. All right, friends,
Oh, wow.
look at this.
Awesome.
And now we roll. This is where it's also really helpful to have two people. So you start really small and just a little bit of a fold.
There's like that importance of making sure that this is well floured, right?
Yeah,
Because
so
you
you're-
don't want this to be the
That's
sticking
where that could
point.
backfire on you
Yeah.
if you don't have it well floured. You get in there.
Oh,
You can-
thanks.
We'll let you roll.
All right.
Right to the edge.
Bring it back. There we are. We have two 9x13 pans that we've added more butter.
Are you serious? You roll
So
it
then
in
you
the butter.
roll it in the butter
Okay.
for browning
It's gonna
purposes.
get nice and golden brown.
And also so it doesn't stick to the pan at all.
Wow, this looks incredible.
Alrighty, the big reveal.
Oh, man. Look at that. It's so mesmerizing.
That swirl, it's so
Yeah.
pretty.
Wow. What's the drink of choice with this?
Drink of choice.
Yeah.
I like it with coffee.
Coffee,
Sometimes just milk.
So my dad also eats it sometimes with a slice of ham on it.
What?
Yeah, it's kind of that sweet and salty combination.
Oh.
My mom did fruit, salami, and Potica.
That sounds like it's more like it's like an Iron Range charcuterie board, right? Oh, oh. Wow, that's so delicious. When I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, oh yeah, cinnamon roll. I get it. You know, that's what automatically I think. But it doesn't taste like a cinnamon roll at all. You guys do butter on it, right?
Do butter on it because there's obviously not enough.
I mean, you know, when in the iron range, let's go.
No, we can't help ourselves. Okay.
That's really good with butter.
I know. We weren't lying to you.
Man, this is totally like 180 from some of the things I know, which I love.
Yeah.
So it's just great to be a part of this. It's great to be part of this tradition. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
We were so happy to be able to share it.
You know, the romantic side of me is like, you could put "Will you marry me" on
Oh
here.
my God.
You know, and you're doing this with your
That's
lady.
a commitment.
Yeah,
You're covered in flour.
yeah. Trademark.
Petitza proposals.
Yeah.
Our gender reveal.
Yeah, gender reveal. Oh, Mark, you just changed the world.